Rain, it never seems to stop in this city. An endless gray curtain falling from a sky no one ever looks at anymore. Below, the city hums with technology, with progress, with everything, except wonder. From my window, I see the clouds. They're not just water vapor to me. I see castles, dragons, faces. They look alive. I sketch them, trying to capture the stories I see, the shapes everyone else misses. Downstairs, Mom is in her world of holographic charts and data streams. She's brilliant, a scientist who can explain everything. Everything except why I feel like the sky remembers me, even if the world has forgotten it. That night, the storm got worse. Thunder rattled the windows, and I couldn't sleep. So I did what I always do. Drew. I imagined a city hidden among the clouds, glowing with a soft, inner light. As my pencil traced the final tower, a flash of lightning lit up the room, and for a split second, my drawing, it flickered, it shone with real light. I stared, my heart pounding. Hesitantly, I reached out and touched the paper. The ink rippled under my finger, like water. And then, a whisper, carried on the wind, so faint I thought I'd imagined it. Lyra, come find me. Before I could even process the voice, a single glowing feather drifted out of the drawing, floated through my open window, and vanished into the stormy night. I didn't think, I just ran, down the stairs, out the front door, into the roaring storm. The rain was a solid wall, but as I chased the shimmering feather, something impossible happened. The downpour parted around it, creating a perfect dry path just for me. It was like the weather itself was alive, guiding me. The feather danced through the deserted streets, leading me further and further away from the familiar glow of the city center, toward the old abandoned observatory on the edge of town. The building was a relic, a ghost from a time when people still looked up. The feather floated right through the cracked dome and disappeared. I pushed open the heavy doors and climbed the winding stairs to the main telescope. It was covered in dust, the lens cracked. I wiped it clean and peered through. My breath caught in my throat. There, hidden inside the swirling chaos of the storm clouds, was a city. A massive, floating city, shining faintly, as if it was just starting to remember itself. It was the city from my drawing. Before I could even blink, a spiral of pure light erupted from the clouds, reaching down and gently pulling me upward. I wasn't scared. It felt like a dream. I floated through clouds filled with glowing, shimmering fragments like shattered pieces of starlight. They were pieces of forgotten dreams, whispers of ideas, echoes of laughter. The air grew warm, and a beautiful swelling music filled my ears as I landed softly on what felt like solid marble, but was actually a cloud. I was there. The city was silent, its beautiful structures cracked and dim, as if it had been asleep for a very, very long time. I whispered to the empty air, "This is my drawing." A faint shimmer caught my eye. Feathers made of starlight began to weave together in the air, forming a creature unlike anything I had ever imagined. It had the clever face of a fox and the magnificent glowing wings of a phoenix. It circled me once, its soft light bathing me in warmth. "You heard us," it said, its voice like the chiming of tiny bells. I could only stare. "Us?" I asked. The creature nodded. "The dreams that humans forgot. Eclipsera was built from the power of children's imaginations, their hopes, their wonder. But as your world filled with logic and screens, people stopped believing. They stopped dreaming. And so, the city began to fade. We called to you, Lyra." The fox phoenix, who introduced himself as Solin, led me toward the center of the silent city. There, a massive, crystalline heart pulsed with a weak, fading light. It was the heart core, the engine that connected the world of dreams to reality. As I stepped closer, a spark of energy jumped from me to the crystal, and for a glorious moment, the heart core flared with brilliant light, sending a wave of warmth across the city. The glow quickly faded, but the proof was there. Solin's starry eyes were wide. "Your imagination has power here," he whispered in awe. "You're the first dreamlink in 100 years." But our moment of hope was shattered. From the dim edges of the city, a dark, oily mist began to slither across the cloud floor. Twisted shapes formed within it, creatures born from nightmares, from forgotten dreams that had curdled into disbelief. The shadow drift. They lunged toward us, hissing. I screamed and scrambled back as Solin leaped in front of me, blasting the creatures with bursts of pure light from his wings. They were too many. They were closing in. Panicked, my mind raced, and I remembered a sketch I had made weeks ago, a drawing of a knight holding a shield of pure light. I closed my eyes and pictured it with all my might. I imagined the light, the strength, the safety. When I opened my eyes, a shimmering, translucent shield was hovering in the air right in front of me, deflecting a shadowy claw. Solin looked back at me, a grin on his foxy face. You remembered how to create. After we drove the shadows back, Solin and I sat on the edge of a cloud, looking down at the tiny, glittering lights of my world far below. The storm had passed, leaving a clear view of the earth. To save Eclipsera, Solin explained softly, you must reawaken its power. There are 5 lost dream temples scattered across the city, each powered by a fundamental human emotion: wonder, hope, fear, love, and memory. You must find them and bring them back to life. I looked at the glowing feather in my hand, the one that had led me here. It pulsed with a steady, reassuring light. My world was down there, safe and predictable. But my home was up here. Then we start now, I said, my voice filled with a determination I didn't know I had. As we turned to begin our quest, neither of us saw the dark figure watching from the stormy clouds below. His form was twisted, a corrupted echo of a dream being. A cruel smile spread across his face as he watched us go. Another believer? He whispered, his voice a venomous hiss. Just what I've been waiting for. Lightning flashed, illuminating his face for a terrifying instant, and his eyes glowed with a malevolent, violet light. The sky never forgets a dream. It just waits for someone to believe again. What wonders are you dreaming of? Thanks for joining me on this first adventure. If you want to see what happens next in Eclipsera, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single moment. See you in the clouds.